Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of AM Minnesota. I guess you could call it almost one of the roots of our community, the Taste of Faribault. It's been around a quarter of a century, which is kind of hard to believe.
Silver anniversary this year. So, and again, that's why it's starting at 5:25 this year.
And going till 8:25.
Yeah. Down at the American Legion. Going to be a lot of fun.
Rather clever.
Just, you bet. Taking phone calls at the chamber today. Tickets in advance, pick them up at the chamber. They're
save $5.
Save $5 a ticket, so that's a heck of a deal. But yeah, I took 2 calls at the chamber this morning for people wanting to get their tickets in advance. So
yeah, you save $5, so why not, right?
Especially if you're getting 2 or 3 or 5. So.
And you still have the deal with a group of 10, $120.
That is correct. That is correct.
When's the deadline for advance ticket sales? End of the day today.
I'm gonna say I'm just going to say noon tomorrow. How about that?
Oh, okay.
It probably was the end of the day today. I just extended it. So sorry, Kim and Liz and Cassie and Kelly, but we'll go till noon tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
5:25 till 8:25. And if you've never been there, which I find hard to believe if you lived in Faribault, you've never been to Taste of Faribault, but if you haven't, they can expect various vendors tasting.
I think we ended up with 27 vendors. We've got some fun ethnic food there. Our pals, now the American Legion is our host again this year. And I've got some connections there, and I've got a little intelligence. They're going to they started a Wing Tuesday feature down there. They're going to have 3 or 4 flavors of wings. So, chicken
Have you
wings.
been to their Wing Tuesday?
I have. It's delicious. It's delicious.
What are the varieties?
You know, I've had the
super
mango
hot.
habanero, and they do they've got another fairly spicy one, and they've got a bourbon barbecue that's pretty delicious as well.
That sounds good.
Yeah, yep. So they're gonna have those, and then so many of your Faribault favorite food vendors are going to be down there. Looking very much forward to it. It's sort of I've had people describe this to me. It's kind of a reunion as well. I mean, we get several hundred people that come down to this event, and they see each other. Haven't seen them maybe since the last Taste of Faribault, but it's a fantastic atmosphere. There'll be samples of food and drink, and it'll be a good time for all.
And the vendors must enjoy it, or they wouldn't keep coming back.
Exactly right. Exactly right. The way that's set up is any Faribault area vendor can be in that event, regardless if you're a chamber member or not. They're all able to be in that event, so we like to have it that way.
Again, it's down at the American Legion, Faribault American Legion, Post 43. Lots of room. You set it up nicely.
You bet.
And you will be full if you try something from every one of those vendors.
Absolutely, you will be overflowing. So don't
beverages.
take anything out of the freezer for tomorrow night. Hey,
yeah.
Right? You won't need to make dinner. Come down for this. And
you got beverages there too, right? F-Town will be down there?
Yep, there'll be some. I don't know if F-Town made it, but there may be some of their product with one of our other.
Oh, sure.
Right, so like Fairway Spirits will be there, and Hy-Vee will be there, for example. So good stuff. It'll be a good time.
They can teach you a little bit about what wine goes with what food. I'm not very good at that sort of thing.
You know, the kind that comes in a glass and is readily available goes with right. That goes with about anything.
Oh, but they say that there's that.
There is, the red pairs well with red meat kind of things, and the white with fish and seafood. My favorite wine, honestly, is a Chianti, and with something that has a marinara sauce. So that if it's not a good pairing for others, I don't know. It's a great pairing for me.
There you go.
There you go.
That's the beauty of we all have a different palate. All right, we're going to discuss more about that, and we're also going to talk about the Fall Festival and other happenings.
Harry Brown's Family Automotive in Faribault. Online at harrybrownsgm.com. Savings based on MSRP.
Well, I don't know if he's going to tell us any jokes, but Nort Johnson's in studio. What's your official title, Nort? You're the community marketing director.
Community marketing director, right? That's the title. Actually, I think more reflective would be blessed guy to do some good stuff in his old hometown. That's the way I feel about what I get to do. I'm blessed I get to work with council members, I get to work with committee members. The whole clan down on the end of Central Avenue at the library and the senior center and Park and Recs. I was just talking to Brad Fino on my way in here today, looking at some artwork. I've got one of the examples, Brad Fino and Paul Panaski and Janet Viscomi and myself are on a banner project right now. So we've had these banners in town for some time, and they're needing to be replaced. And
the ones on the light poles.
Correct, the ones on the light poles. So what we're doing is spending a substantial amount of time making sure that we get every bang for our buck, which includes a little bit different look and a little bit different theme for Faribault. And we're settling on some things. Since they're not entirely approved, I can allude to the idea that they're useful. This theme that we're working on will be useful for economic development. It'll be useful for marketing to visitors and for tourism, and it's got a very meaningful feel. It definitely something that Faribault delivers on. So look forward to being able to hopefully make more of that public soon.
So you can't tell us now?
Well, I probably shouldn't.
Okay.
But it's nice. It's nice. I want the whole group to give the blessing at the end, so that what we roll out is agreed upon by everybody. But there's really good stuff out there. But yeah, like I said, that's an example.
So it's different than the theme. The theme now is like small town.
Small town pride, big city opportunities is what we do right now. We're condensing that a little bit. And pending all the approvals from the powers that be, it'll be a little more agile, and it feels real good. So that's I don't want to tease anymore, so I don't want to talk about that one anymore.
Maybe
good
next
stuff,
time you
though.
come on, huh? Yeah. Maybe next time.
I'm pretty sure by then we'll be solidified on it. Good stuff, though. But I use that as an example of things that I get to do on behalf of the business community in Faribault through my Chamber of Commerce role. And that meshes so well with the visitor and tourism work that I do, and then I get to do some of the work with Main Street as well, work with a bunch of volunteers there. So
tourism season is not over by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because a lot of people, myself included, love to go and do a fall tour, looking at the leaves and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. We've got people coming to town to do that, and definitely a lot of people coming through town. So we're doing what we can to snag them for an overnight or get some lunch or do a little shopping downtown. If they happen to be coming through a week from Saturday, they can stop for some chili in the downtown for the Fall Festival chili contest, or chili cook-off. Again, there's been a little trash talking among some old participants right now about who's going to have the best chili, and we're looking forward to that. There's also Faribault Foods that day is having their Fall Frolic 5K run walk. And so those that are interested in that, and that's a walk or run, move at your own pace, that'll be leaving from Heritage Park. That's the one by the depot at 10:30. And they're also taking food product donations for that. And you can find more out about that at visit faribault.com.
So is that for the food shelf?
Correct. So, and then after that, the kids parade starts at noon, and that'll launch from down at Buckham Library. It's kids costume parade. I wanted to share. It's official. We are going to have a contingency from the crack squad up at Shattuck leading that parade this year.
Cool.
That's going to be really neat. It's going to be that's just some coordination they do, spinning those rifles.
What's the route?
Doing their work. We'll go from basically the community co-op block, which is across from the library, down to, we'll go right up to the State Bank Boxers Corner. So we'll pass by one tilt-a-whirl car and end at the other one.
Okay, so it's just straight up Central Avenue.
You got it.
That's it.
Yep. And
no
then
turning, none of that.
None of that. It's just, and the kids love it, and a lot of them, their parents march with them. Others, the parents just get down on the parade route somewhere. And then that'll follow up with the kids' games, and Actually, Pawn, Minnesota, Frank Merzario there is having his 7th anniversary party that day, and he's going to have a mariachi band, and he's going to have his big old grill out making hot dogs and some special other sausages. So
this is next Saturday.
This is next Saturday, right on.
I was going to look at the extended forecast. It doesn't go quite that far.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. That's all we need to know.
You got the
Yeah.
direct channel to the weatherman, eh?
Well, you know, I certainly talk with them a lot, or do my best to. So we'll do our best to get the good word in for the weather.
Or Mother Nature.
Mother Nature. Spooky basement tours at the Paradise again. Those have been a big hit. So that'll be going on. We've also, our friend Tara Langevin from Faribault Insurance has organized trick-or-treating again this year, so they'll be we'll be handing out bags and trick-or-treating maps, and the kids can make their way around. Last year I think we gave away over 250 if not 300 trick-or-treat bags, and these kids make their way around to the businesses, gives their folks a chance to see and be reminded of what all we have in downtown Faribault. So there'll be many businesses participating in that as well. So it's a good day. We pack a lot into 3 hours.
That's quite a weekend too, because it's MSAD's homecoming. Next Friday is Faribault High School's homecoming. I mean, you got a lot of stuff going on next Saturday. Elks is having some kind of an event, Oktoberfest.
That's right. They're having Oktoberfest at the Elks. Hey, and I was talking about community services a little bit, or Park and Recs a little bit earlier. They've organized a history walk as well. I think that's at 11:30, and you can check their website or give them a call to find out more about that. So, right in the district, right in the historic district. So, I know I've said this before, but you remember the note about Faribault's historic district in the downtown, that we're the largest one in the state except for St. Paul. So,
oh, yeah. No, we knew that.
Beautiful place to have events. Good stuff for sure. So what else do you know, Gordy?
I don't know a whole lot, but you know that you got some December events coming up. You're going to have some kind of a lighted parade. You have a Grand Marshal, too.
We are, yes. We're on December 2nd. It'll be I believe at 5 o'clock. Look for details. We're going to have a lighted parade, and so we're inviting every business in the area, and big business, small business. It can be a family, but put together a lighted float. Now, float can be termed as a snowmobile trailer with a couple rocking chairs on it and lights wrapped around it. It could be an Xcel Energy boom truck with everything wrapped up, or anything that you like. And as long as it's lit up, we'll let it get into the parade, and that'll leave at 5 o'clock. And we're just really proud that one of our downtown merchants, an anchor business in downtown Faribault, is going to have a representative as our Grand Marshal, and it's Bruce Burkertsmeyer from Burkertsmeyer Shoes. And he accepted that a couple of weeks ago as a role, and we're just proud and happy that Bruce is going to be our Grand Marshal for the parade.
Yeah. So you're going to have some kind of a boot or shoe-themed float there, right?
We'll do something. Bruce has had some ideas, so I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how that shakes out. So
You almost have to have.
I think so. I know that there's Red Wing has a giant boot that they've done some things with. I don't know if they're going to be able to get that elaborate or get that here, but there's certainly some fun ideas going on around that. So start thinking about, we probably need a Mighty 920 lit float in that parade.
Be our 70th year next year.
Oh boy, what a good way to lead that off.
It would be. Anyway, I wanted to plug a couple of shows. Tomorrow Todd Sesker is going to be on. I don't know if he's going to bring anybody with him, talking about the request for, the bond request
right.
for Faribault Public Schools.
Right.
And then Dick Kettering stops by on Friday and talks about the Fessler-Lampert Acoustic Roots Music Series. They're celebrating some kind of an anniversary this year. So.
Well, that series that they put on up at Shattuck is fantastic. Shelley and I last year caught a couple of shows. One of them was they got Livingston Taylor in, and that's James Taylor's brother.
Yep.
This guy was fantastic. I would drive a long way to go enjoy his show. It was just charming, and that beautiful campus up there, and the theater is just amazing.
Yep, he's every bit as talented as his brother.
Yeah, really good stuff. So and Dick is he's a friend of the Chamber as well as the Paradise Center for the Arts, He's the one that's helping us dial in the crack squad for the parade, and then for our lit parade, we are going to have the Shattuck toy soldiers doing their routine in that parade as well. We might put them in the front.
That would be perfect.
I know. It's just they look like nutcrackers. Is kind of the theme for them. So so happy and fortunate to have those partners that come to the table when we've got events going on. Good stuff. Good stuff. Corey.
Most definitely. Now the Fall Festival, I just want to remind people again, that's next Saturday,
Next
September
Saturday.
30th, because when you talk about trick-or-treating and everything, people are thinking, well, gee, Halloween's a month after that.
We're just a couple days early, but before we hit the October, but we chose that date this year based on a couple of criteria, and looking forward to it. Now the the warehouse sale at the mill follows. We're talking about next year finding a way to coordinate those, because they bring the Faribault Wool Mill brings a bunch of people to town. I mean, loads of people to town, and help them make a full day of it. Maybe we'll be able to get the right coordination done to have them join Fall Festival as well. So lots of good stuff. You know, I wanted to hit on something quick. This is just a little off track, but
we're going to go off track.
That never happens. You know, the city council at their joint committee meeting last night talked about some things, and I was really pleased to see that they were funding an additional inspector position for Faribault. That's something that a contingency of the Main Street group has been hoping for. There was a big discussion about, especially after the fire in, I think it was Madelia last year, that in a historic district with shared walls with other buildings, it can be a fire event can be a real dangerous circumstance, and just you know, hats off to the city council and city staff for putting that together and getting that proposal. It looks like it's at least preliminarily agreed upon.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks a whole bunch for that. It's an important piece of government, is to ensure public safety, and this will go a long way. So Dusty Dienst did a great job getting that put together, and I know that this position will be shared with Al Ernst in the building code division as well. So good stuff. Just wanted to get a little tip of the hat to the council on that one.
Wow. Nort Johnson is with us. He's the community marketing director for the city of Faribault. Also deals with Main Street.
Yes, Main Street, and that's what the Fall Festival is coming from this year. So, Taste of Faribault tomorrow night. MSAD Homecoming also again is at the same day as the Fall Festival. Yeah, you bet. So
they've been around a long time.
It has.
MSAD.
Yep.
I'm thinking maybe, well, I'm not going to speak out of turn here, but I was thinking around the Civil War. Maybe it was a little after that.
I know the property was given to the state by Alexander Faribault during the very first session of the Minnesota Congress.
Which would have been in 1858.
There you go. So yeah.
So it was just before the Civil War.
Oh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good stuff.
Right.
Quite the institutions up there. So, you know, that whole the education thing in Faribault, and talking about you know, themes and things that we have. We're kind of calling that the Bluff District up there, you know, on the east side of the river, with Shattuck, St. Mary's. It was initially there was Shattuck, St. Mary's, the St. James School, and then the State Academy for the Deaf and the State Academy for the Blind, and the Seabury Divinity School was up there. So the whole that whole shaping people's stories up there, shaping the Faribault stories on that Bluff District is that's a really important part of our history in Faribault.
Back in the day, Faribault was called the Athens of the West.
Athens of the West, yes, sir. And it had that. It rightfully claimed that title. It's been well documented how important Faribault was in the early settling days in this area.
You had this buildings, empty buildings, where people could submit their ideas.
You know, that's oh yes, the Downtown Business Challenge.
Yeah, where's that now?
It's the final. The final interviews are being done next week.
Oh, okay.
So
it had to be soon.
Yep. We started with 7 businesses that submitted their applications, and after round 1, that went to 6. And after round 2, we have actually 4 of them that are advancing into they give oral presentations to our judging panel. It's going to be pretty intense. It's very, very structured. We have very structured scoring sheets. We've been just intensely careful to hold the information that these entrepreneurs have shared with us in their business plans. And everybody that has seen them or knows about them has signed non-disclosure agreements, and we're making sure that that their intellectual property stays safe. At the same time, it's kind of hard because I know what they are and I'm excited about them. And our judging panel is the same way. But we'll meet up next week with our 7 judges. We'll do interviews with each of the potential business owners for for the downtown district.
So when are you going to make the final announcement? Do you know yet?
Well, it will be the following week then. We'll have a decision made as of that Friday, so that would be the 29th, and then
that's next week.
That's next week.
Yep.
And then we'll craft we'll make sure we have the prize package will have to be crafted mildly based on the business plan for the winner. We have the amounts set, but just exactly how that'll look is going to be dependent on what the needs are for the individual business that will be opening up in downtown Faribault. So,
but more than one of these might open up, right?
Correct. And we're I'm enthusiastic. Again, I have a little inside information because I've been able to see the plans. The 4 that are in the finals are very good, and honestly, the 3 that didn't advance were still good ideas as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go a little bit further on their own and maybe come to fruition. But
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so we'll once we get that done, we'll get a release from the winner and maybe some of the contestants and be able to do some announcing. But a really good project, and again, partners at the table for that, Gordy. All of our community banks came to the table. The EDA, the HRA, George Rhodes with Faribault Web is offering prizes up. Your company, the Faribault Daily News, we're pretty happy with all of the partners at the table helping with this. So.
Yep, Town Square Media.
Town Square Media in beautiful downtown Faribault. So
that's who we are part of, the family of Town Square Media.
Right. That's all over the country. Correct?
All over the country.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sirree. Well, we only got a couple minutes left in the show. Again, in summary, we do want to promote tomorrow's Taste of Faribault, 5:25 until 8:25, serving at the Faribault American Legion Post 43.
Tickets in advance, $15 at the Chamber of Commerce, and that's at 530 Wilson Avenue next to Taco Bell.
And you extended the deadline to purchase those.
I did. I hope I don't get in trouble. They'll probably dock me the extra $5 that we sell tomorrow off of every ticket, but it's all good. That'll be a great event. And then a week from Saturday, Fall Festival, downtown Faribault. MSAD homecoming that day as well. The History Walk that Park and Rec is putting on.
And the Faribault High School homecoming's Friday next week.
That's right. Oh, a lot of people in town. I think that festival's going to be pretty well attended.
So you can have a parade on Friday, the homecoming parade, and a
Right.
parade on Saturday.
This is a parade town.
We could maybe change the whole theme of the town, call it, Parade Town USA or something.
I don't know if that would work, but it's certainly it'd be an interesting name. So, and again,
kind of like that Athens of the West.
The Athens of the West. The fall festivals. Again, the 5K going on. That's at 10:30, leaving from the Heritage Park. And that's where the statue of Alexander Faribault and Teope are, down there by the depot. So there you go, Gordy.
And Bruce Burkhartsmeyer is the Grand Marshal of the night parade, December 2nd.
The lighted parade on December 2nd. That'll be a 5 o'clock event. buttoning up a few other details. But
Well, it gets dark by that time then, so.
Right. It'll be dandy. It'll
Awesome.
be dandy.
Chamber will have a float, right?
Definitely the chamber will have a float. I'm going to talk with the family. We may just have to have a Johnson family float in that as well. I think that would be pretty fun.
December 2nd. Hope
It's a
I can see
Saturday.
it. I would love to see what the Burkhardsmeyer's float's going to look like with all the shoes, I'm guessing.
It'll be good.
Right? It's got to have shoes.
It'll be good.
That's what they're known for.
They've been, I don't remember how many years, but I remember getting school shoes there when I was a child, and how awesome the service was.
So I think they started just before KDHL started.
Okay, and
Like a year or
KDHL's
so
been,
before that.
and KDHL's been how long?
They'll be 70 years old next year.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Dean Curtis, first voice heard on the airwaves when they flipped the switch, January of 1948.
1948.
That's 10 years before I was even born.
Wow.
Almost
Wow.
11 years, because I was born in December of 58.
Okay.
Yep.
I wanted to just quickly find out what games you're doing this weekend, because I'm catching them all the time. I'm working on my house and I'm switching between the AM and the FM.
Well, we're about out of time here. So I don't know if I got time to tell you about all the games we're doing this week.
Well, what's your Saturday game?
Saturday, I've got Carleton, of course, at home against the Augsburg Aggies. And on KDHL, we've got St. Olaf at Bethel. And that's about all I got time to tell you.
All right.
We will have the homecoming game next Friday night. This Friday, we'll have Austin and Faribault at Bruce Smith Field. You're in tune to KDHL AM, Faribault, Minnesota.